Hi guys, it's me Blue, and today we're going to be starting the process of making mixed peel. Yes we are. This video is going to span over a couple of days, but we're going to do the first part of it right now. So yeah, let's get down there. Right, so as you can see, yesterday I pre-peeled all the limes and clementines. You can use whatever citrus fruit you want. I've already got candied peel made from pomelos and from lemons. We have these, we're going to slice them so that they are ready to go in. Now you don't want really thin slices, you want to have them a bit chunky. Now I left these to dry overnight because it actually helps a bit with this process. It takes less time for them to candy up if they're a little bit drier than if they're a little bit wet, because some of them, as you can see, have got a little bit of the flesh left in them because they didn't pull away like some of them. They were naughty. Okay, it's gonna take a few moments. We're gonna start off with the limes, but you guys get the gist, right? So if you cut the lime quarters into like 4, that size, you've probably got them big enough, and I will see you in a minute. Okay, now all of those are done. The next thing we need to do is get our tray ready. Now the tray is where we're going to dry our peels on. So I'm just going to flip it around that way, and we're going to have another one that flips around that way. Okay, you need to make sure there's drippy space underneath the rack. Now if you are lucky enough to have a dehydrator, use that. There will be a setting on it that will tell you the best way to do it in the dehydrator. I don't have one, so we're going to do it the old-fashioned way and let it drip dry. This is a process that will take overnight. That's fine. Let's get over to the pan. Okay, so in our pan we're going to make a simple sugar syrup. So we're going to put around about a mug of sugar. Just plain old sugar. Plain old sugar. Straight in here. Just like that. And then we're going to put a similar amount of water in there, so about the same amount. So whatever you've got in sugar, put it in water. All right, and then we're going to turn it on, and we're going to have it on medium so that it will just melt, dissolve the sugar. Okay, now the reason I started doing this in my late teen years. There was a department store in Australia that used to sell chocolate coated orange peel, and it was my mum's bestest favourite sweet in the whole wide world. So my sister used to buy her some every year. So there was this one year though that she didn't, and I thought, well, you know, I'll get it. But it turned out that it was $27 a kilo. And I was like, I don't have that sort of money. So, being at the time we used to make our own orange juice and stuff like that, the peels used to just go in the bin. So I did a little bit of research and I found out how to make these, and I saved all the peels from the orange juice making and created my own choc dip orange peel. And yeah, for pennies. Literally pennies. Now a bag of sugar for us, because we buy it at the cheap shop, is £1 for, is it a 2 kilo bag? Yeah, a 2 kilo bag for £1. So we get that, and this is probably going to cost £1. We needed to make juice for other things as well, so you know, the peels. And also, peels are basically like a side product. So saving those and making this kind of thing with them actually gives you two different products. Once the sugar syrup's made, once you've done your cooked off your peels and everything, you end up with the most amazing syrup, which is basically cordial. Not even gonna lie, if you add a little bit more water to it, cook it down a little bit more, because it does cook down quite quickly when you're doing this, you end up with a really, really beautiful citrus syrup. Now at the moment I've got a lemon one, I've got a pomelo one, I've got so now I'm about to make lime, and we've got like a orange one that we'll get as well. And basically all you do is you can add those to drinks or to other cooking you're doing and end up with a really, really nice product. At the moment over here, a lot of the cordials and squashes and things all have sweeteners in them, and I can't have sweetness, so I prefer to make my own, and this way I get a really, really nice one. And it's basically nothing. Now we've got to wait for this to bubble up a bit, so we're going to do that. Okay, so while we're watching the water come to the boil, why don't you go and hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon and choose the all option, and then you'll know when other videos like this are coming up. Also, give us a like, give us a thumbs up. We really like them because we like you too. Alright, so we've now come to the boil with our simple sugar syrup, and we're going to put in our lime peels first, and we're just going to scatter those around in here. Just going to scatter them around in here. Now, when we didn't have, we had even, when I had the kids and they were little, we lived in a place that had a wood stove. And I actually used to do this on top of the wood stove. You can do it that way. So, you know, it was going, I figured why waste the energy to put the electric on, because we had an electric cooker at the time, and so I just used to do it on top. As long as your sugar syrup's going, we're good. Now we want to cook these until the white part goes translucent. Okay, so it's going to take a few minutes, probably around 10 to 15 minutes to get to that point. So yeah, but once we're there, it's simple. I mean, you can go and put the... What are you doing? Oh my goodness. That's Hanny doing things in the living room. Could you stop doing that to the cat, please? He's not doing anything to the cat, I promise. Anywho, so yeah, this is going to take about 10-15 minutes. And yeah, I will be back. I'm going to go and make a brew. Okay, so now I purposely let mine run like this for a little bit. You need, just to show you, all you need to do if this happens is add a little bit more water, because you don't want toffee. You need to keep it as a syrup, okay? You don't want toffee. Just keep it as a syrup. You don't need to add more sugar at this point, but all you have to do then is just make sure that the thickened sugar gets mixed into that water and dissolves down again. Now, we're only halfway through the cooking process with this. You can see where some of the pith is starting to go a bit translucent. But it's not, hang on, that light's really bad, isn't it? Sorry guys. But it's not entirely there yet. Now it goes translucent when the sugar water or sugar syrup has managed to cook all the way through to the actual, through the pith itself. We need to get it to that point. Some of them are about halfway there, I'd say. Yeah, about halfway. Let's see if I can get this up where you can see it's about halfway. Okay, so yeah, but not quite all the way there. We're almost there though. We're almost there. So just, that'll just sit there and just do its thing for a wee bit longer. And I'll see you in a few more minutes. Okay, so we're done. Ta-da! Right, I'm gonna show you what to do next. Okay, so I'm just gonna bring this pan over here a little bit onto the bench. Now what we need to do is we need to get ourselves set up. Okay, so we're back. I just brought the pan over. All we have to do now is we're going to just pop these on the tray. Now this can be a little time consuming. You don't want to have really small pieces for this job either, because otherwise they'll fall through the rack. If you do have one of those fancy dancy baking trays, or cake racks, which I do have, I'm just saving it because I need to have at least a cake rack left over for cakes. Possibly today, I don't know, depends how we go, but we need to get all this done. Now try and give them a little bit of space, but it doesn't matter if they overlap a bit. It just, you need to let the air have a bit of movement around them. Now, as I said, you can do this any time of the year, whenever you have spare peel, or you can save them all up and do one huge batch whenever you've got a massive amount, and they freeze really well. And you can do this after they've been defrosted. Don't do them frozen, otherwise you'll water down your sugar syrup and it will take longer. Nobody wants that. So let them defrost overnight, drain off as much water as possible, and then get started. It works just as well, I promise you. It really does. So now if you're doing this in the dehydrator, you do it according to whatever your dehydrator instructions are, obviously. But yeah. Oh! Wait. It's going to take a bit more than I was hopefully expecting. I didn't really want it to take up as much room as it's gonna. But okay. That's fine. We got this. Now, you want to keep them somewhere where they're going to get a lot of air. If you can put them overnight on the top of the stove or something like that, if that helps you. If you have a little shelf somewhere in your pantry or in your front porch, wherever. We have a pantry porch because we figured it was a really good place to keep all the veg, especially in winter, because it's very cold out there. It's kind of like a root cellar, but it's not quite as clever as that. But yeah, you want to keep these somewhere where you can, if you're doing this in the summer, just put them outside in the sun. That's it. Simple. Put them outside in the sun. Just make sure that they've got maybe a cloth over the top if you get a lot of like flies or bees or wasps or something in your garden. Keeps the bugs out. But you know, whatever works for you guys, right? It's going to take a little while. Now I'm going to get the orange ones done. I'm also going to pour out this syrup, and I'm going to show you the syrup, because this syrup has the most amazing aroma to it now. It's basically been turned into lime cordial at this point, because it's just a basic sugar syrup, which is what cordial is at the end of the day. It just happens to be a little bit thinner. And flavoured. So, you know, it's all good. It's much better for the kids too, because you know what's in it. It's only fresh fruit or herbs if you put herbs in it. I used to make a really nice grapefruit and apple mint cordial, but I don't have apple mint anymore. That came from my parents' garden. And that was so refreshing in the summer. But yeah, this will be a really nice lime one. Now I've got one of Tanny's old beer bottles that has been washed and sterilized. Whoops, that went through. Don't worry if it goes through a bit, it's not a big deal. Now these will take overnight. So that's all they'll take, is about overnight. If it's fairly damp or humid where you are, it may take a wee bit longer, but here it should be fine overnight. So let me just, I'll be back. Okay, so now we're going to get that syrup in here because it's going to be easier to pour it and safer into the bottle from the jug. Now I know it seems like a little bit of double handling, but trust me, you'll thank me for it. Right, it's done. Now we're just going to get our funnel. Okay, has a funnel. I've got a few funnels actually, but we only need this one. And look at the colour of that. That's, oh, don't. Just don't. Now, the lime cordial that I used to get is the Old Roses one. But I can't have that one anymore because they started putting sweeteners in it. Now all you have to do now is just put, I bought these little wine corks off eBay. They're like a couple of quid for 20. And you can reuse shit. Hey guys, so that was Tanny. We have had an issue with the icing sugar. For some reason, the company has taken it out of the cardboard boxes, which are compostable and recyclable, and put it in plastic packets. So he couldn't find it, and he was in the right panic. So, yeah, anyway, back to this. We've got our lime syrup now. It's all done. La 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 la. Yum yum yum. This is gonna keep for like forever, and if you want to use it like for drinks and things like that, you just use what you would if it was a cordial. Okay, so just a little splash, or maybe a shot glass full if you're gonna have like as a cordial. And I usually have it with cold soda water and ice because it's really yummy, especially in the summer. Now I need to get started with the clementines, so I shall be back. Okay, so same deal with the clementine peels. We're just going to sprinkle those in here like this. Now this is a completely new batch of sugar syrup. These peels have been left to dry overnight so that they will take a little, not quite as long as they would if they weren't, because they're all nicely dried out. Yeah, and we just need to wait until they're translucent. Like, it will take about 20-ish minutes, 20-25. So have a brew in that time. Just make sure you check on them every 10 minutes or so to make sure that the sugar syrup hasn't run dry. Okay? That's all you need to do. There we go. Lush! Cool. Well, this lot's done, and we're going to go and put it on the racks right now. Right. That out of the way. Let's put this over here. Our tongies. And we'll get on with this. Put these ones on the racks. These ones took less time than the limes to do, which I'm actually quite surprised at. But that's okay. It could be because the pith is actually cracked, because it's actually got a softer pith than, which is the white stuff, than the limes. The limes is pretty solid, so that could be part of it. Not quite sure, but we'll see how we go. Anywho, get all this done. And then I'm going to put it up on racks. Well, I'm going to put it up so that it can dry somewhere. I've had a bit of an idea because we've got stuff that's drying and preserving all over the place. We're kind of running out of room, and I needed a temporary fix. So I'll show you in a minute what I did. Okay, so we're going to take these over to where my bright idea is and see how we go. So come with me. Come with me. Scary, isn't it? Yep. And we've got to avoid the cat. She's right under our feet as well. So move, kitty. Thank you. Now this is a closed area. I'm not going to put it that way around. I'm going to put it this way around. And just hang it there. It's off the radiator, so when that turns on, that will help with the drying process. But it's also a place that's off the benches and stuff like that, so that should help a bit. Unfortunately, we only got one of these because I gave the rest to Bam. But, you know, we use what we got, right? Okay, now that's all done and they're away. I can sort out the clementine syrup, which again I'm going to pour into this jug here. Yum, yum, yum. And again, it can be used however you want to use it, alright? However you want to feel the need to use it in your cooking. There we go. Not as much as the lime, but that's okay. We've still got some, and that stuff is liquid gold. There we go. Alright. Oof! Okay, now the other thing I wanted to show you was these are the leftovers from the peels. Okay, so I had to zest those yesterday for the salmon, so we're going to use those. I'm going to juice all of this. It's all going to be juiced separately and packed up separately. I'm going to get my juicer out in a little bit and do all of those, so they'll be used for other things during the festive season. Ta-da! Okay guys, our peel's done. It's had more than 24 hours to dry and it's pretty good, pretty solid. Oh my god, really yum. There's a bit missing off this lot because I used it in the mincemeat recipe, which I will put down below. I'll put a link in the description below. Now you can eat these as sweets as they are, or you can stick them in airtight jars for the pantry. You can also dip them in chocolate and have them as sweeties, because I'll tell you what, oh my god, oh, pretty good. So I'm going to be putting these away in jars to stick in the pantry, but we're done. Hey! Some of these with the pomelo and the lemon that I made earlier this year will be used to make the stollen that I'm going to make in the next couple of days. And once that's done, I'll put a link in the description below, excuse me. But also, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos on what I do with the mixed peel or what I do with other things, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell icon and choose the all option, and then you'll know when my videos come up, and then I will show you more stuff like this you can do on a shoestring. Honestly, mixed peel, this mixed peel has probably cost me, I don't know, not that much. The peels are a byproduct of the flesh that we use, right? Okay, and it cost me less than 50p for the sugar used to make them. So it's pennies, and you're using something that you would normally chuck out. Why would we chuck it out when we can make our own peel with it? Silly, really, isn't it? Anywho, guys, I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for your patience with this one. Oh, pardon me, and I will see you later on. Bye bye.